This week's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Defy Sports. You can check them out at defysports.ie. Defy Sports are a sports apparel company based in County Louth. They have a couple of stores in Dundalk, County Louth, and they supply a multitude of sports apparel. This includes half-zips, t-shirts, training tops, retro GAA jerseys, retro rugby jerseys. They even supply school uniforms and a lot of other things too. You can check them out at defysports.ie, or you can contact them by email if you have a query about ordering something, orders@defy.ie. Big thanks to Defy for sponsoring this week's episode.
On this week's episode of That Sound podcast, we have Joshua Bowles from County Cavan. Good evening, Joshua. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me. My band couldn't make it this evening because we're online and I'm in my house. But I'll just list out the band members. And we have a keyboard player, Oisin Hilton, and drummers Shane Galligan, and bass player is Rowan Davis, and then myself.
Very good. How did you get together, or how did it happen?
So, this story, said it quite a few times now, about Rockathon. And I saw you were going to Rockathon this year, so it was quite interesting to come across you. But basically, I was on my own, minding my own business, posting away on Instagram and doing my own thing when I got called up by the lads at Rockathon. They asked me to play. In 2022, they asked me to play, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have a band. So I was on a mission from then on to try and get the band together and get ready for the following year, which we managed to do. So yeah, that's how it all started, really.
And was it all friends from school, or was it all lads from Cavan, or how did it happen? And sorry, going back then, did Rockathon, the boys from Rockathon reached out to you, seen you online or whatever, and asked you on? Is that they invited you? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, they're not from my school. They're from Cavan, and we went through quite a bit of chopping and changing before we got to where we are. Right. So yeah.
And
first group of lads, they were about in the summer 2022. The first group of lads, we didn't end up playing much, but we were going to go was the two other boys, and we were looking for a drummer, and then the two other boys dropped out. So then I was still looking for a drummer, but it was on my own. So then it just, there was a lot of evolution. There was probably about 15 plus people in and out before we got finally sorted, and we only got our keyboard player in April 23, and that was a month before Rockathon. So it's all very we have to get this together right before Rockathon, and it was just crazy,
It's a lot of pressure. And so from Rockathon, then is there many members have changed up in the wee band, or is it the same?
Same from Rockathon, yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant. So, Joshua, can you take us back to where your musical journey began?
That's a long time ago. Well, when I was 5, I think. But I never really bothered. When you're younger, you just kind of look at it in the corner and say it looks cool, and that's it. Yeah. But I started properly picking it up probably 7 years ago now, or something like that. And and I started on Instagram in 2020, when everyone was starting their whole upstarts, you know what I mean, COVID and all that. And I went and started Instagram and tipped away until I got to where I am,
Yeah, you have a massive following at the minute.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like you said, you started off during COVID. It must have just built and built and built and built. It's crazy. We see it ourselves, with social media, the power of social media. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You must have followers from everywhere.
Yeah, all across the world. And you see a lot of Spanish in the comments,
Yeah, it's mad. It's cool. I enjoy it myself because you find different bands, different genres, different this and that. So how do you do your research on that then? You just kind of...
Song of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the time it kind of comes to me.
Okay.
I've had asked to be on it, and then when I'm scouting around, I kind of just know bands about the place and throw them on. I try to give, Irish artists the biggest goes because, they're the artists that are around me, they're the artists that are closer to me than any other artist.
absolutely. So what kind of stuff were you listening then to growing up as you were learning guitar? Like what was in the CD rack, or what was on the iPod or whatever?
I listened to a lot of Guns N' Roses and Metallica and all that stuff. Actually, I see the Metallica flag behind you there.
Yeah.
That was my first ever concert in Slane, 2019.
Brilliant.
Good man, good man. Yeah, we were there.
We were there ourselves. I'm sure
Great.
all the rest of our guests are sick of listening to us talk about it, but
Yeah. It was a great show. It was a good show. So who got you into the music? Is it in your family, or was it a friend, or was it school? Was it
My dad mostly. Yeah, he was putting on CDs all the time. I think he was on a mission from the day I was born to make sure I was into rock music. Actually, there's a funny story about the fact that we used to, I don't know where it is now, but we used to have a Metallica lullaby CD. So it was all the Metallica songs as lullabies. And that's what they used
no
to,
way.
yeah.
wow?
So, yeah, I remember it used to freak me out a bit though, because Metallica all minory stuff and weird, and it's like as a child it's kind of horror,
Yeah.
like these, like it's like creepy lullabies. It's not really, typical kind of putting your child to sleep lullabies, but
Let the Sandman.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Never mind that noise you heard.
Oh, isn't he so cute?
Crying his eyes out. Isn't that normal, Ted, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what babies do.
That's cool. So that was your first concert, you said, Metallica?
was, yeah.
Jeez, that's a hell of a start now. That's a hell of a start in your journey.
I suppose I saw them because they were first on that day. I thought they were really good.
Who was
Fan
that,
Club.
sorry?
Fan Club.
Okay. Did you like Ghost?
Oh, Ghost were class. I'm really into Ghost now since playing.
I can't take to them.
Yeah, I just can't get on to the train. I admire what they do. I think they're very, very good musicians.
We caught the end of it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did just about. We
Yeah.
were more concerned with having
Yeah,
a
like
good
you
crack.
said, it's a bit of, I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant to it, but yeah, it's a bit more theatrical or something, and I can't buy into it. Maybe I'm just stubborn old prick. I don't know.
I think when you're actually like looking at the first three bands that were playing and then Ghost came on, you could see that they were cut above what was on before. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it was the Stiff Little Fingers were there, weren't they?
I was so bored. I didn't really like them that much.
Right. I don't know a whole lot about them either. I don't. Oh, carry on.
You're gone. Cavan is
That's
out.
That's the little ears on me. Yeah, I never really got into them. Did you?
No, it wouldn't be a band that I would have spent a lot of time listening to. But then again, Fan Club or Ghost wouldn't be a band. Two bands I wouldn't really listen to
I
either.
actually seen that Stiff Little Fingers are kind of on the tour again on the circuit.
It's good to see it considering they're Northern Irish band.
Yeah, again, you know what I
Irish
mean.
band.
It's great to
Good
see.
to see it.
Even like when you think of Irish bands that were on stage with Metallica, back to Donington with Therapy.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever listened to much of them, Josh. Therapy.
Very good. I like them.
Yeah. And we had a guy on that was at that gig actually, and he was telling us
That was his first gig.
yeah, but Metallica let Therapy use the ramps, on Donington, like usually the
Headline act are the only ones.
yeah, the only ones with Therapy got to use the ramp and go into the stage and go into the crowd and all that. Like, they were huge. Like, they were in their prime at that stage. Like, again, like yourselves, like. There's so many. I don't know about this. Is a question for you, Josh. Now that you're a young man, right? We feel. I don't know if you feel. I hope you do. That there's something happening in Ireland right now, as in the music. The music scene is just.
It's thriving.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, definitely. I definitely think because there's not much that I can find back, but social media has kind of opened up the world to
100%. Yeah.
a little bit, and every band, even across the world, you can see it. Even in America, you can see the smaller bands are there as well. But I do think there's something unique about stuff in Ireland, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like even every genre, like I prefer some of the heavier stuff myself. Now I listen to I came in the gate this evening listening to dance music. I listen to anything, but like the hard rock, alternative metal seems to be really booming in Ireland right now. Really, like even I don't know if you know a band called Hero in Error. They're a metal band. They are like really, really good. 10 Ton Slug, they were just played in Limerick. Like there's so many metal bands that are just
Words that burn.
Like they're really good. But then like yourselves, like the classic rock, not classic rock, but general rock, you know what I mean? Like Vendetta Love, like we talked about, like yourselves. Shadows Calling, another
then
great.
We have the Scratch taking off.
Yeah, Scratch is on another level. They're like kind of folk Celtic metal, which is madness when you put them three words together. But the music that they are putting out is fucking top quality. Like they're playing Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds,
Electric Picnic.
They're doing the whole lot. They're just back from a tour with Dropkick Murphys. Like that's a great achievement. I think they're opening for Sum 41 as well.
Yes, and they're opening for the Wolf Tones in Hyde Park for one of their final gigs.
Yeah, like so there definitely is something brewing. I'm glad you agree. Do you find, Josh, with your age group, music, is it kind of down the list of priorities now with like young teenagers would say, is it more, or do you find music is still prominent with your kind of age group?
I definitely think so, yeah. Definitely.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
Do you feel, Josh, that live gigs are something that they want to go to?
That's a tough question. I don't know about that because I know myself it's hard to even get your friends to go sometimes.
It can be tough, can't it, to even get some of your mates to go. And I understand people are busy and life happens, and life has seemed to have gotten busier for a lot of people also.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's the accessibility of music that's part of the problem, because back like in the 80s or whatever, you'd either like have to go and buy the record or buy the ticket to go and see the band, and the tickets and the records would be the same price now, you know what I mean? Like you'd be buying and then tickets would be cheaper they were way cheaper back then to even see the biggest bands. And those were your two options. You either buy tickets or buy CDs or vinyl or whatever. While now you can just kind of find everything online and do what you want. And I feel like there's less of a drive towards wanting to go to live gigs, even though I think there's nothing better than live music. And I think maybe younger people don't really get it because they haven't experienced it as much as people. It's
an interesting take for sure.
Yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah, like I remember going to that concert. I've said this a million times. People sick of me, but that Slipknot Metallica concert in 2003, I actually remember the price of the ticket was €50.
Yeah,
€50 for Slipknot, Metallica, and somebody else.
And what did it end up being when we went to Metallica in the Gold Circle? They were like 120 a ticket, or
I don't know what it was.
Something that was dear enough anyway.
But like, look at AC/DC and stuff this year. It's fucking crazy.
Stevie Nicks.
Oh,
we're all good. It's just the charger.
It's got crazy. It is got crazy. But like you said, Josh, there's nothing better than live music. You know, you don't have to go to the biggest bands to get that, to feel that music. You know, there's so many gigs in, you know, the Town Hall in Cavan or Spirit Store or up in Drogheda in McHugh's, or, you know, there is a lot of good venues, Tolls in Dundalk, which what we just said is that the talent is there, and there's, you know, Words That Burn have played in Tolls. I don't know if they played the Spirit Store, did they?
I'm unsure if they've played the Spirit Store, but I know from experience myself, having played some gigs and Tolls and bits and pieces with different bands, that I've shared the bill with some fabulous talent also, and there has been a pretty poor turnout. Do you know?
But even to just get that taste of live music, like if there's any young ears here listening, get out and experience it. You don't have to save up and spend 120 quid on an AC/DC ticket.
Yeah. And a lot of these gigs in Tolls or McHugh's might be free in.
or they're just as good. Well, not AC/DC, but you'll get that feel. You'll either love it or hate it. I know there's people that don't like, busy spots, and maybe, But I'll tell you another thing that you should try. Maybe is, I've done it once or twice. Just go to a concert on your own. It might sound mental,
but it's incredible
because, Josh, like music fans. If you just bump into a lad that you never met before, you could talk to him for an hour, and
Definitely.
your friend might be standing beside you, and you mightn't even talk to him for the hour. So then I was like, there was certain concerts I was on to you about Rammstein, and you were like, no, I wouldn't go.
Wouldn't be my thing.
And I'm like, I might just go on my own. I don't care. So don't be afraid to go on your own.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's kind of tough to go on my own, I suppose, this stage.
Yeah. But even when you get a bit older, driving and that, like even the last few gigs I've went to, I've even, like, people say, having a beer or having this, I don't mind. I'd go to a concert, don't drink.
Yeah, just drive, enjoy, tip home, just take in the show.
Yeah.
Stop in Mario's on the way home for a bag of chips.
So what about your gigs then, Josh? Tell us a few. How did you find the Rockathon stage and the whole lot? Was it a good buzz?
It was crazy, yeah. It was massive. I was sick though, which was the biggest thing. We were building up for a whole year, like getting the band together, and then the week before I'm just dying. And then it was even the day before, I was hanging about with a mate of mine, and we were playing a bit of snooker, yourself. And I couldn't even stand the day before. I couldn't stand. I was just that fatigued and that sick. I couldn't. No. So the morning of Rockdown, I was just, I took whatever I could from the shelf and just went for it, And actually, I think I have a bit of footage up from it, but if you hear my voice, it's just completely different. It's like I was just screaming. That was kind of what I went. But it worked, I suppose. Screaming kind of worked for rock music,
Yeah, I did see a bit of footage, and I liked the way they kind of, these were young guys up there on a big stage where some, bands that have experience might find that intimidating. They kind of took areas, they kept an eye on you. It felt like that watching it anyway. Like it was nice of them for what they done, I think.
And even brilliant story.
Yeah. So you have another couple of gigs coming up, have you? It's with your own band. Tell us about your own band and what is it like? You were saying your influences are like Guns N' Roses, Metallica.
Yeah,
what can we expect?
There's a lot of
from your stuff.
It's all. Well, we actually recorded a record there in February. We have finished it off, so we're in the process of getting that out. And there's going to be a lot this summer, I think I don't know how many gigs we've got sorted, but you mentioned a couple of venues, Tolls and McHugh's. We're going to them too, and then we've Cavan Arts Festival next week, so we do. And I know the podcast will probably be out later on, so it'll be. Then we're in Blessings for Sing For Me as well, so there's a lot coming up, and we might even be. There's this youth festival in Garageland. You know Garageland?
No.
Dermot Lambert, the radio presenter, RTE radio presenter. He's
brilliant.
Doing that. We're going to be in that. So yeah, there's a lot coming up. So
when is that, Joshua?
That's in the middle of June.
Brilliant.
Nice.
And will that be aired on RTE or is it aired on the TV or?
I don't know. I think it's just a live gig, I think it's in 3 different places. There's one in Naas, one in Mullingar, and one in Blanchardstown. And we'll basically get to decide which one we go to based on where we are.
Someone else was telling us with that festival in Cavan.
Which, the Cavan Arts Festival?
That are playing that. Was it Wars the Born? No, hardly.
I don't know who was talking about it, to be honest.
But that's great. Like, you have a busy summer, Josh. Like that's exactly what you need. Like, and recording. Then, what way did you do the recording, or where did you do it? Or
went to Manor Park Studio. You heard of that? It's up in near Antrim.
Okay.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Neil Calderwood. He was producing it for us, and he's brilliant. So yes, he was in a band called Sheer. Do you know them?
That rings a bell.
I wouldn't be familiar with them.
They were kind of around, like, they were similar to like Therapy. It was around that era.
Yeah. Something's ringing a bell, all right. Yeah,
I must check them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, And how did you find the recording process?
It was great. So it was, we actually stayed for 3 days. Well, we stayed for 2 days the first time, and then we came back and we finished off in 3 days. So it was brilliant. So it was. And then we also had the song contest. That was a completely different experience. It was in Cavan Institute's recording studio, and it's coming out at the end of the month, that song. So yeah, that's kind of what's
Brilliant.
going on.
You're busy. You're very busy.
Yeah.
That's deadly. That's deadly. Like, so what would be, where would you love to see your band this time next year?
Make another album or something, and then
Make another album.
Brilliant.
surviving, I suppose.
Yeah. Are you doing the writing yourself, or is it
A communal effort.
Mostly, but I can only do so much, on the guitar and singing. I can do that, and then the rest is, just leave them to the rest of the band. And actually, that's the thing that, and all the previous people I've worked with, it's never kind of been such a system that just clicks. You have a system that just clicks, and it's just like clockwork. We have like we recorded 7 songs, but there's like 70 songs sitting
That's
there
great.
ready. And
that's exactly where you want to be.
Brilliant.
yeah, we have the best of the bunch in this record that we made as well, and we're really excited about it because there's all sorts in it. There's hard rock, there's like metal, there's punk, there's the ballads, and then there's like some dance stuff as well. You were mentioning listening to dance music.
Yeah.
Song is kind of like a dance rock song, and it's probably everyone's favorite. And
We look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, man. You seem like you're definitely on the right road. Like you're doing everything right, and what I can hear.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. It sounds good, man. It sounds brilliant. And are you still at school yourself?
I am for another month.
Another month. Are you doing the leaving? Are you?
I'm doing it even as well in the middle of the whole lot.
How are you juggling all this?
No, that's part of the reason why Song of the Day ended up happening, actually, because I think it was just before I went into 6th year. I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to be fit to keep, recording videos of me playing guitar and singing and stuff, because that was kind of what I used to do more so than Song of the Day. And then I was kind of like trying to think of something that could just be really quick and easy to do and just doesn't require too much effort. And Song of the Day is very quick and easy to do. And all you need to do is kind of keep up music and listen to music, and that's it. And I just throw in whatever I feel like and do whatever I want. Like this week, I'm just doing stuff and just looking back with a couple of Eurovision songs and going, that'll do.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. It sounds, yeah, you have a good head on your shoulders, it sounds like, anyway. Definitely, yeah. Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
You've got a lot going on, Josh. Fair play, man. You're getting after it.
Yeah. Busy, especially actually about the gigs. It's very hard for us to get gigs as well because we're underage and all that. And I'm 18 next week, so that'll help a little bit, but it probably won't help much because most venues and bookers and all look for bands that are over 18. But we're doing our best.
Well, a very happy birthday to you in advance.
Yeah. Will we?
We're going to roll into question time, if that's cool with you, for a bit of fun.
Okay.
Gavin, you're up for
First
man in line to fire.
If you could play in a band for one night only, who would that band be?
Guns N' Roses, I'd say. Yeah. I wouldn't play lead guitar. I'd play rhythm. I'd just watch Slash the whole time.
Yeah.
Watch them and just back them up. And that's where I'd sit in the band. I wouldn't want to play lead because, it's Guns N' Roses. You just hang out and vibe.
Did you go to Slash there a couple of weeks ago? Did you happen to go to that? No.
I really wanted to, but I never got to it. Unfortunately. Yeah, I got his album. One of his albums. So yeah.
I think you answered this one, but the first concert you went to was Metallica. What was the last concert that you attended?
Are we talking big concerts or I suppose the last one I have to think now. The next one I'm attending, I know, but there's the last one.
Yeah.
I'm going to Green Day during the summer, so I am. But
yeah.
The last concert, one of our own.
Yeah, that's good.
I think before that, I was at the Killers. I was at that. I think that was the only big concert. That and Metallica.
How do you find the Killers?
I got invited by my friend to go to it, and I just was like, yeah, it'll be pretty cool. I like they're very good live, but I don't know if I'm not a big Killers album listener. I wouldn't really care for listening to them.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, they were very good live. And Blossoms was with them as well, and they were class, and they're getting a lot more recognition than they were back then as well. So, and they deserve it because there's great songs there.
Cool, brilliant. Well, next one on the list, Josh. What is your go-to fast food?
KFC. Yeah.
Oh, nice. What do you go for?
Chicken fillet burger every time.
Good man, Josh.
A man after your own heart.
Yeah, I don't mind. I take the bucket. Take the bucket of chicken.
Oh, you hit the bucket and I'll see you with. You hungry bastard.
Right, you go with that one, Luke.
Can you name a book, album, and a movie that you think everyone should watch or check out?
Well, I'm reading Slash's autobiography. There's a lot of Guns N' Roses answers. I'm sorry, but
that's all right.
Slash's book, it's class. It's not like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's like a fictional story. It's like just crazy, the whole lot. And for an album, I'd probably say if you haven't listened to Appetite for Destruction, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You need that's like number one listen, I think. And there's a lot of like that as well. Rumours by Fleetwood Mac, I think it should be on everyone's list. And actually, one I got recently, Permission to Land by The Darkness. I think that is one of the best albums I've ever heard. I think the production is real, and it's
another great album.
Yeah, he's in a new band at the minute, isn't he?
The Justin Hawkins.
Yeah, and they're playing in like
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, very, very small venue in Dublin. I think it could be the Workmans or something.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I seen it on Instagram or something. Now, I could be absolutely 100% wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I seen a name of a band and his name under it and a very small venue in Dublin. So, hope I'm not wrong. I look like a dick, but I think I did see it.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So, a movie.
That's a tougher one because I've watched a lot of movies, so it's a lot of different. It depends on the genre, doesn't it? I suppose. Whether you're looking for
that everyone should check out.
I think the Tarantino movies, all of them are just unreal. You know, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs,
Django,
yeah, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was pretty good as well, actually.
Yeah, there's definitely a crazy feel to them, isn't
Yeah, it's a strange twist, isn't it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you could watch and wonder at the end of it, what was that all about?
I think I tried that movie a few times and I just can't.
That was the one you couldn't.
I
think that was the one we talked about. Did you say you walked out of the cinema watching it?
No, that was some other. That was I can't think. That was some shit. Yeah. But no, I like the Tarantinos. Right, I'm going to ask you, my last question, Josh, is if you could get 5 of your top musicians, dead or alive, in a room to record your dream album, who would they be?
Like alongside me?
If you want to be in the band, I want you to piece together a 4 or 5 piece band that would...
A supergroup?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Well, I'll be interesting, and I'll have 2 lead guitarists instead of a rhythm guitarist and a lead guitarist. Might throw a rhythm guitarist in there as well. Just have 3 guitarists. I don't know. I'll have Slash in there, obviously. That's the most obvious choice.
Yeah.
For singer, that's quite tough. Mike Patton. Yeah, Slash and Mike Patton. That'll be an interesting combo. On bass, probably Cliff Burton. He's just mental. Other guitar, I feel like you see, we have Slash, so we need someone that kind of complements Slash, I suppose. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be actually kind of weird to see Prince playing alongside all those guys.
Yeah, that'd be very good.
That's a good shout.
Like vocals as well, you know.
Who you got on drums?
Drums. I really like Stephen Adler, but that's just my Guns N' Roses feel. And he's with Slash already, so I'll go for someone else. Maybe just simple, because Shane isn't here, and he'd usually say John Bonham if he was asked about favourite drummers, so I'll just say John Bonham for him. Yeah.
That'd be class, yeah. Imagine Prince and John Bonham. That would have been something.
Prince was a genius.
He's class.
Prince's solo on My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that video,
the other day.
Brilliant, unreal. I've seen people rap. Well, it's just every time, it's just class.
Yeah, and we had a guest on, and I actually didn't realise it at the end of it when he throws the guitar, and the camera, if you watch it back, he throws it and the camera just pans slightly and comes back and the guitar's gone. Obviously someone caught it, but it just looks like he just fired it. Turned around and walked off like a fucking legend that he is. Like, yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I don't know, fucking aura about him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had that it factor.
Yeah.
He's superstar. Well and truly.
Yeah. Right, so we have Prince,
Mike Patton,
Cliff
Burton,
John Bonham,
Slash.
Well, that's a
hell of a lineup.
I'll tell you what, that'll be a fun tour bus.
Yeah, imagine that.
Fucking hell. A lot of drugs. Yeah, Luke, do you want to finish up with a question?
Yeah, Josh, one we ask all of our guests, the name of the podcast, That Sound. What is that sound to you? Describe your perfect guitar sound.
Oh, well, I always go for the Marshalls when I get the chance. You know, it's kind of tough. You know, it depends on the song, I think, for me as well. Because actually, there's one song on the record that we don't use a Marshall. I don't use a Marshall. I use a Vox instead. Actually, there's two songs on the record that I use a Vox. And that's for the more cleaner tones. I like the clean sound of the Vox, the AC30. And then for the more metal sounds, I'd say a JCM 800, something like that, you know.
Very nice.
I kind of like it raw, the amp, but if you're going for pedals, what pedal? I don't know, maybe a tube
screamer.
Yeah, tube screamer.
Yeah. Something like that to drive it.
Something like that, yeah.
Give it a bit of boost.
Yeah, at Marshall sound for me, I think there's nothing better. And I couldn't go for Fender amps. Our bassist used a Fender amp. Well, it's a bass, so it's different. But, you know, I don't think I could use a Fender amp. It's just it's mostly clean stuff as well on Fenders, isn't it? Actually,
man, you think that till you watch Stevie Ray absolutely rip it with a Fender.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think actually Boss Katanas are absolutely incredible. And I'm just after getting one. I'm after getting the Boss Katana Artist. So I am, and that should be coming in a couple. So I can't wait for that.
Brilliant, nice one.
Awesome. So this. I think if you don't want just a specific sound and you're looking for everything across the board, that's just the perfect amp. Boss Katana across the board. You've got your classic rock sound. You've got your kind of more metal sound, and your 80s kind of. You make a real good 80s tone out of it as well. You know, like he can play Bon Jovi stuff so brilliantly with a katana, I think.
I think that's the best answer we've had, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a pretty good one. If you think of an album that has a perfect guitar tone, what do you think of?
I'd actually, I would, I'm not going to say Appetite for Destruction because it doesn't. I don't actually think it's that high quality compared to other stuff, but you know, there are other. I think Use Your Illusion is better production, but the songs on Appetite just cut through. But I'd actually say in terms of guitar sound, I'd definitely say Permission to Land is just unreal from the get go. With Black Shuck is just like I've never heard anything as loud and as beefy and as just unreal. It's just Permission to Land, 100%. Darkness, their sound, definitely.
Good.
Brilliant. Well, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Definitely.
And where can our listeners find you on social media?
You find me at on Instagram, Joshua Bowes Official. I don't use TikTok that much, but I have the same handle on TikTok, and the band also has the same handle, Mirror Glass Official, on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, you can find us there.
Brilliant.
Just give us a shout again about the gigs, the upcoming gigs.
So yeah, we're at Cavan Arts Festival on the 18th of May, and then we're going to be in Blessings on the 2nd of June, part of Sing For Me. And then the other gig in the other festival is on the 15th of June. I haven't fully decided what stage we're going to, but I say it'll probably be in Blanchardstown, if not Mullingar or Naas. We'll show up somewhere and see them.
Yeah.
Live, we're going to be in Drogheda and then Dundalk and Dublin, Soundhouse. We're going to be there, and there's tickets on sale for the Soundhouse at the moment. So yeah.
Cool,
That's
man.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I really enjoyed chatting to you, man. It was great to get someone on a bit younger and getting us, I really found it interesting that you told us about, going to the gigs and a different perspective,
On the music scene and where you think it's at, and happy to keep going and trying to get bums on seats for gigs. And for anyone in any of those localities, get your ass down to see Mirror Glass.
Absolutely, and support Irish music. And this is what we need: young lads like Josh here, and get out and support them, like Luke said, and go to these gigs, because if we don't go to these gigs, these bands won't be playing. Simple as that.
We'll have no gigs to go to.
We'll have nothing to go to.
Aye.
We'll only be giving out about the rain.
Yeah. No farmers, no food.
Josh, a pleasure. Take it easy, my man.
Thank you very much.
Very much. Thanks.